Hello? Alright. こんにちは皆さん、Kai-kun です。もう3年間日本語を勉強してきた。やったぞこの長い道には、よく勉強してきたよね。必死に毎日、文法を勉強、学びを学習。今何を言ってるのわからんね。この動画に、僕の勉強し方を、みんなに伝えてほしいので、この、yeah. Well, anyway, guys, welcome. It's me, Kai-kun, and I've been studying Japanese for 3 years at this point. Holy crap! I can't believe that. I seriously can't believe I've got this far. I've been doing this every single day since I've started, actually. I have done so much. I study like a madman. Flashcards in the year 2022. Oh, who does that? But anyway, guys, in this video, I'm gonna go over everything I have done to get to my level in Japanese. Transition time. Okay, so to start things off, back in 2019, I woke up one day and I was like, holy crap, I want to learn Japanese. And it's like, obviously, I'm a weeb. Like many of you probably guessed. I started out and I did the first logical thing anybody would do who wants to learn Japanese. I looked it up on Reddit. Yeah, so anyway, everybody was saying, you know, you should start with this and memorize the kanji. I'm like, okay, I will. Alright, so following everybody, this was the year 2019. I did not know a whole lot about Japanese. I didn't even know Anki existed. It said make flashcards, so I made flashcards and... Alright. Oh my god, I even have a sticky note of how I did it. Okay.
Okay, and this is how I did it. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so the method I used was in this book. The method works by taking the basic components of kanji called primitives. These are the simplest components that kanji are built upon, and you assign these primitives meanings such as stick, mouth, finger, Mr. T, etc. And for each kanji you want to learn, you make a story from those primitives. The story cues you in on the meaning of the kanji. You rinse and repeat this for all the kanji you want to learn. And some of the kanji use primitives that are standalone kanji themselves, so you use those as components for those kanji stories. So instead of looking at a kanji as a unique thing, I look at a kanji and I get its meaning because, oh, this is this, and because this component is based off of that component, all the way down to the 300 or so unique primitives that all kanji in Japanese are built off of.
This was a month before I got into my first Japanese class at college, which used Genki. So I was a Genki kid. I got the Genki greps in, you know.
Pedigree stuff. I'm gonna break down my Japanese study history ASAP because I was getting into the weeds of the details. So boom, I started July 1st, 2019, a month before my first college class. During this time, I was memorizing kanji, hiragana, and katakana. Going into my intro class armed with knowledge, I was able to stay on top of my studies. Fast forward to the end of the semester, I finished Genki 1 with 3,500 paper, capital P, paper flashcards, of which 2,200 were kanji. Summer 2020, when the Rona hit us, I discovered, wait. Hold up, there's an electronic flashcard program and a whole Japanese learning community around it? Bruh, I could have saved so many years of carpal tunnel if I found this out sooner! Getting back on track, during the summer I finished Genki 2 and Kai-kun's Grammar Exposition, summer 2020 by the way, in case you forgot. Oh, and Kai-kun Grammar Guide does go over the same stuff I learned in Genki, but the explanations were on point, so I did that. So fall semester 2020 is starting. Having finished Genki 1, 2, and Kai-kun's Grammar Guide, I finally get to go to the part that makes the Japanese grammar and flashcard grind worth. I started reading books and watching anime without subtitles. Finally, I have ascended. But not really, since for those first few months of doing that, I could not follow anything. I was completely blind on what I was reading and listening to. But I pieced together little scraps of understanding, and those scraps grew into sentences, then paragraphs, pages, and finally whole books. But I was at 3,000 kanji memorized, and still, ones I haven't seen yet kept popping up in my immersion. So I broke down, I bought and shipped a kanji dictionary from Japan that has 6,000 kanji in it, and I've been making 5 kanji cards a day from that. Yes, manually flipping through the pages of that book. and making kanji. Like a broken record, I did this pace until December 2021. This point, I was in my 3000 level Japanese class, 3rd year of Japanese, and we were using Tobira. Sorry. The book they teach after Genki 2, but at this point my Japanese was rock solid, so besides the tidbits Sensei would teach us in class, I learned nothing from that book because, as I will reiterate, I studied like a madman. Everything in Tobira was taught in Taken's guide, which I read last summer, so all I had to do was set cruise control on Japanese immersion and I was vibing. But my progress was stagnating. Why was it stagnating? Because I didn't notice improvement in my comprehension of reading and listening anymore, so I changed up my routine to what I'm doing right now. And this is my current routine. As I explained earlier, I do flashcards, specifically kanji flashcards, where I see the English meaning of the kanji on the front, and I try to write out from memory the kanji on the back of it. And I use that as the test, and I also do the reverse of that, where I see the kanji on the front, and I try to remember the English meaning of it on the back. I've done this for all 4,400 kanji I've memorized to date. Woo! Only 1,600 to go. After this, I roll right into reading for 30 minutes. Knowing all this kanji makes reading Natsume Souseki or Natsu Yatsume Kokugo insanity much more manageable. Then I watch an hour of Japanese content throughout the day. I try to optimize it by getting my listening in during some of the set breaks in my workouts, and also some passive listening in while I'm running. So I put on a podcast or I'm in the car and I listen to some Japanese J-pop or whatever. But I cut back my reading from an hour to 30 minutes because I now do shadowing for 30 minutes. In case you don't know what that is, that's where you listen to an audio recording of Japanese and you try to replicate it the best you can, which is basically reading, but you're acting out the words the voice actor is saying.
そうだそうだ。限界からの伝言があったんだ。ところにだけは絶対負けるわけにはいかねえ。
And this helps with my speaking ability. I've noticed big gains in my cadence, pronunciation, and pitch accent from doing this. And lastly, I do 30 minutes of school in Japanese. Wait, hold up. School? Yes, and I do it, and it's actually a massive brain move, because for me to get better at Japanese, I need to learn things in Japanese, which is why I do school. I listen to the lectures, I take notes, I read aloud my notes, stimulating many different parts of my brain for high-octane immersion. This helps with my ability to write in Japanese, and I get to utilize my kanji writing skills, making all those flashcards worth it. Why? Why do I do this? What is my reasoning? Because the language skill, in my opinion, is broken down into 6 parts. You have listening, reading, writing, speaking, comprehension, and output. Output is just writing and speaking. So this routine practices all 6 of those components to a varying degree, and it's honestly the best I can do for a guy who's never been to Japan, let alone spoken to a Japanese person for more than an hour. So, to sum it all up, I have pumped anywhere from 5 to 6,500 hours in Japanese these past 3 years, and I've memorized 4,400 kanji to date. It sounds impressive, but guys, honestly, I'm very much average and who has found some S-tier learning methods for Japanese. Yes, it gets easier, just keep doing it. Even if you have doubts, you will succeed, because if you do something every single day, you are bound to improve.
So, I have Anki reading, actually basically doing school in Japanese. Then I do my 30 minutes of speaking practice, which is
このビデオはどうだろう？ガチに殺したので俺のチャンネルに登録したらマジ俺が嬉しいですよ。けどよ、俺の日本語レベルは皆さん見てる通り未完成だな。言いたいことがまだまだできない。知っていれば辛いになるよな。その上に聞くことなどが完璧に理解できない。そのためにこの学び方を続けていれば俺の日本語レベルを上がるのが確かだと思うぜ。俺の夢がな、もちろん日本に旅したい。その前に JLPTN1 をやって合格したい。だからこの12月にその試験に挑戦するんだぜ。まあ後で日本でしかできない試験、漢字検定をやって合格だ。皆さんこのビデオを見てくれてありがとうございました。僕にとって本当に嬉しい。また次回をお会いしましょうよ。バイバイ。